we owe it to ourselves to build this. It doesn't happen overnight.
All right, thank you very much, Peiru. Yeah, if you have time, just stay around. I'd like to invite all the panelists to key in your web link at the chat so that people can go to your company to see what are the services that you have. I think this is a very good. We have all the way somebody, my good friend from South Africa. All right, I think right now is before lunchtime. All right, thank you for being here. So share your LinkedIn, share your company link here. I want to now get to some of the questions that are being posted. There are 15 of them, so I'm going to distribute to some of you, okay? So there's a question by Siri Ramdes. How do I get endorsement when you have limited connections? All right, you have 40% of the colleagues, and the other 60% you have not even worked with before. Now, my approach is this. Before you even get to the endorsement part, you have to build your connections first. It comes first. Then you let people know what you're good at, and when they work with you or your ex-colleague may remember, hey, you used to be good in this, I think I can give you some endorsement. All right. So that is, at least for me, this is what I do. What about the rest of the panelists? Do you have anything to add to this? How do you get endorsement?
You know what? I just asked for it. I would text my friend and you know what? Can you help me with that, right? Especially when you just did them a favor.
Oh yes, that's very important. And you know what? Come back to your point just now where you get a lot of PM. Do you know that to me that is the highest level of engagement? That you get PM. I tell you, every morning when I get a message on LinkedIn, right? It's like talking to Tock. It's actually something I look forward to. Not on Facebook, but on LinkedIn, if somebody asks you a question, somebody say, I'm interested in your event, how do I sign up? Even that simple thing will be good enough. All right. So the second thing, so Mr. George Wong says, my SSI is 73%. Now, 73% may not be your SSI score. Maybe you're looking at the wrong index. There is a network index and an industry index. That number must be small. If it's big, you're in trouble. SSI should be big. If it is small, you're invisible. So you might be looking at the wrong index. So, and you ask me, is it good to upgrade to premium? It's really up to you. If you're hardworking, you don't want to pay. If you're not so hardworking, you might want to pay a premium to get some work done. To me, it's a very straightforward answer. What about anyone in the panel?
Yeah, I'm actually agreeing with Andrew. In a way, I think I started going for premium when I reached about 8,000 followers. So before that, I think I'm very hardworking. I post every day for the past 3 years. So yes, in fact, it's actually how can you get endorsement when you are appearing every day? You actually went into their life. I got a lot of people writing into me and asking why today you are not posting. You know, when I was in holiday, they will actually write to me, hey, are you okay? It seems like you are not posting these few days. So that is actually really, really, it's glad to see that in a way that people are following you in. So whether premium is good or not, is like what Andrew has mentioned is totally on your personal preference. But if you are really hardworking, then it's okay. And another way on how you get endorsement is you first go and endorse others. So it's kind of like a reciprocate kind of activities. When you keep doing that, so in return, people will give it back to you.
Okay. So I think the question, I think Peiru, this one you should answer this because you have Sales Navigator.
Yeah, we do.
Yes. So my friend Cohen Tan asked what are the key benefits of LinkedIn Premium, and he's considering to use Sales Navigator. So what is your advice? How do you
Sorry, how do we what?
How do you get the maximum benefits out of using Sales Navigator compared to a normal account or even a premium account?
I have to say, what's your main purpose of doing that, right? I think Sales Navigator is fantastic for tracking people down. right? Especially if you want to try to see who are they reporting to, and the whole reporting line upwards across the organization, right? Especially if you're doing sales mapping and planning, I think that's by far the most effective way, especially if you want to do a quick industry scan. Sometimes if you're wondering, maybe is this industry good for me? What is this size, right? You can do the filtering and you can multiply, maybe each deal might give me this amount of revenue. I think it gives you a very, very quick and easy or quick and dirty way to do your total addressable market sizing. So if that's what you're trying to do, I think that's super helpful. But if not, I think that just perhaps the premium one could work good enough.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think this question maybe Carolyn you can answer. Somebody asked just now about before you go and see someone, you will check out that someone's LinkedIn profile, get some idea. So the question is it okay to check out the interviewer LinkedIn page before the interview? Any LinkedIn etiquette tips?
Sure. Well, for me, I travel a lot, so I meet the telco C-level, right? So I will ask my local partner, who am I meeting? Who are the people in there? I need to know them well before I meet them. So it's perfectly professionally fine. It's a vice versa. They will also ask the local partner, who's the guy coming to meet them. So I agree, a very good storyline is very important because it's transparent, it gives you credibility, and it gives you a very productive, to the point in the discussion. I think one of the missing points that probably have not been highlighted here, that is, when you have a LinkedIn, you must be very clear who you are targeting to, because you are having that intention to know that group of people. For example, a telco industry. In Singapore, there are 5 telcos, 3 are known. Among the 3, there's only one is Tock, which is Singtel. For example, if I want to know the top lady, then Miss Chow, and if I don't know her, how am I going to know her? I have to know that who is reporting to her, the 4 regional MD. But if I don't know Bill Chang, who is the top man, how am I going to know him? So I have to know his senior managers and MDs, right? So somehow I have to plan the route to meet and connect within the group. It is only through that, for example, Francis Ling is in the group here, I think. So through him, for example, when he was at Singtel, I get to know him, we get along, we attend different seminars, and through there I know his bosses, and his bosses become good friends and business contact, and from there I get to know Bill, and one day I will know the number one. So I think if you have a very good storyline, if you are able to articulate what you have in the market in terms of content and product, you organize nicely, you should be able to have some very credible invite the people want to know because you are special, right? Not just that we need to keep on adding to increase the number. So when I first started LinkedIn, I think the first 100, 200 contacts is very important. That 100, 200 will form your core connector to your future development. So, I mean, it's a wow factor that Wendy has got many followers just like yourself. I think it's great. But for any good starter for business, it's important to have the core 200 or 300 very relevant connector. It can bring you and bridge you across different industry across the region.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I have another question. I think, Chris, you always do hiring. So this question is for you. Is it recommended to upload your CV to LinkedIn to attract recruiters or potential organization who want to hire?
So unless your CV is like super beautiful and can you hear me? Okay, yeah. Unless your CV is like super beautiful, you're in the creative scene, and you have something like really powerful that you want people to watch. I say no, because I actually because I do that exactly that, right? I track the people I want to hire, and if they did upload the CV, it's like 3 years old, 4 years old, and I don't blame them, right? How often do you update your CV and then put it up on LinkedIn? So no, I think it's more important that you keep your LinkedIn updated, follow all the steps that Andrew has shared. From your picture to your highlight to your story, your achievements. Keep all those beautifully done. That alone is worth more than all your CVs combined. Unless, of course, you're a creative person, but you need to share your portfolio, your videos. Then there's a separate story altogether.
Okay, that's awesome. I always feel that if you need to upload your CV and your LinkedIn is blank, it's like a paradox because your LinkedIn should be as as awesome as a CV. In fact, if you do everything nicely on LinkedIn, you can export it to a CV. So the
Exactly.
to LinkedIn is like a double job, right? So people who are looking at your team profile, they know what to do. The HR look at you, they will export everything onto the C format. They will send to the boss.
And here's the secret, right? I work with automation for some of the largest property developers, and they use Monster Jobs and Job Street for hiring. They use SaaS platforms, right, that can pull in data from all these platforms, and they have a special service that if you pay a bit extra, they actually connect to the LinkedIn as well and pull all this information, and you can compare, position to position, the work experience to work experience, all these generates straight from LinkedIn itself, LinkedIn's API. So if you update that, if you update LinkedIn properly, you get the best of everything.
Sure. Actually, I have a very funny story that I want to share. There was an incident where I helped a client to hire someone, and this someone has all the right words, that he has on LinkedIn. He's forward-looking, he's proactive, and so on. Then we suddenly want to do a double check on his Facebook. So we went to the Facebook, and on Facebook, he's a completely different person. So on Facebook, he's cursing his boss, he's complaining why he has to work on weekends. It's completely different from LinkedIn. So don't think that the hirer are stupid, because I think a lot of people can compare knowledge and they will do fact checking. These days, right, unless you're invisible, all I need is a Gmail. Your Gmail, I can hunt you down, right? There's so many places that I can find you. So if you ever posted something on Facebook that put you in a very dangerous position, I suggest you go and delete it. All right. One fine day, your boss may actually read it. I got another story. I'll tell. One fine day, a boss come and tell me, I found that my staff lie on his CV on LinkedIn. I say, why do you say that? Oh, I find that he put my job description into her job description. That means the staff is thinking he's doing the boss job. So I told her, you should not get angry. Maybe she's telling the truth. As a friend, let me tell you, I think she's angry. She's doing her job, and she wants the world to know that she's doing her job. So she put your JD onto her JD. And you know what? This shows something. Your boss is always reading your profile. Your boss, your customers are always reading. I know who stalked me, and I think that is the reason why I subscribe to Premium, because I want to know who stalked me. I also want to let them know I stalked them, so that we can create a conversation. All right. So I hope this answer a lot of different questions. And okay. So I have one question for Wendy. What is the difference between a company page and a personal page as an entrepreneur? Do you see a difference, and should you use both?
Yeah, indeed, it is. It's very different. Let's say, for example, if you're an entrepreneur, a personal page, you can share way a lot more about your things. Your thoughts. What do you do, whatever you see, what you learn, and stuff like that. But if it is your company page, it will be good for you to share things which is related, because I think people do not like to see you only in the company, and obviously your company is not only belongs to you. So in a way, if it is actually things that you want to post in your company page, it will be best that you post something which is more professional, related to what you do, and stuff like that. And if it's okay, if you have your own employees, let your employees to manage the page as well, and on and off you can actually monitor the progress of the page as well. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much. Is there any other questions that you have yet to pose? Burning question, because now the attendance dropped by 15%. I think it's about time to go. All right, so it's now 5 o'clock. Anybody? One last sharing? Any question? All right, so if you can do me a favor, all of you who are here, just share one word that describe your feeling attending this webinar itself. Just share something that reflects what you feel. Do you feel inspired? Or what is one thing that you want to start doing tonight for your LinkedIn? Just key in here, and if you have any panelists here that really inspire you, can you just write down here so that I can say that for everybody in the end. So share to us one thing that you take away. Who is one person down here that inspire you and connected? All right, and I think that'll be awesome. On behalf of the panelists here, maybe all the panelists, I give you a minute to wrap up everything. What is one golden advice you give everyone? And then we'll call it a close.
So let me start. A quick one. So if many were to just recall, decades ago, salespeople were told to meet and then finish a name card, meet 10 person, have a good closure interview, and then one sales, right? Then over the period of time, you find that you have to make a lot of calls because phones were available, and then you make many cold call, then go to a warm call, and then end up with 3 and then closing 1. But today is, what about LinkedIn? So one part about LinkedIn is the dashboard. The dashboard has got this graph that says how many people look at your profile today. It can be a repeated one, it can be a new one, but every day you must have that, because that forms a benchmark of your commitment on what you believe in adjusting the market. All right, thank you.
Okay, what about Wendy?
Okay, my wrap up is still the same. Do not feel or do not be encouraged or discouraged. Yeah, do not be discouraged when you're posting like no engagement at all. It's okay. Actually, in fact, all of us, we start from zero. None of us will start a page with 15,000 followers. So what you are doing is actually something that we've been through as well. And then of course, the followers, if it is high, it will be good, but it doesn't mean that when your followers is low, you cannot get what you get as well. Be authentic, be yourself, and try not to copy what others is doing. It's because if it is not you, nothing can be actually shine through you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. What about Chris?
So it's again a repeat of what I mentioned. Don't get so bogged down by what type of content you want to create. Share your experience. That's the most important, in simple sentences. Don't even bother finding a picture if there's no suitable picture. And then when you post that, it's not enough. You do have to go to other people's articles. Any of us here, as we are creating more articles, we just don't just comment. Just share your thoughts and create value proposition between all the parties. Likely, people will be interested in what you have to say, especially your thoughts. And if you do these two things consistently, it's a good start. You don't have to think about your readership and all these other things. It's just good etiquette to practice in LinkedIn.
Wow, awesome. Last but not least, Peiru.
I think super good advice. I think I got a lot out of it myself. But I think I'm still a realist at the end of the day. I have my limitations, and if there's one confession I make is that writing kills me. So I'm really in awe to people who can keep writing. So I just want to just say something that just do some experiments, right? Be okay with failing. Just keep doing experiments, like do the same post, maybe post it on your company page, or post it in your personal page, post it on your Facebook or whatnot. Just see how people react differently, right? And I think it will help you to cultivate the feel, right? And build your confidence in terms of what kind of articles people react best to, right? So just be kind to yourself and just post something and do some A/B testing, right? Post here, post there, change a picture. If something that you truly believe that is really good, but hey, nobody reacted, that's fine. Keep quiet for a while, right? Wait for a while for the storm to pass and change the picture and repost it, right? And I think it's okay. I will just be, very kind to myself. In the past, I was very hard on myself. Oh, you're so lazy, you didn't post, etc., right? And I feel like the more I did that, the more less willing I am to do that. So I'm going to be kind, and I hope you be kind to yourself, but still, hold yourself accountable and do something and do some tests.
Oh.
Yeah, I love Peiru's accountable buddy thing. I'm on it, man.
Okay, maybe you text me. Let's be buddies.
Yeah.
Awesome. my last summary is this. I'm a very practical person. When I know about this social selling index, I use that as a benchmark to improve myself. So no one can tell you you are doing well or not. Only the score, the data don't lie. The data won't lie. The data will tell you the quality of the connections. The data will tell you whether you're building your brand. Data will tell you whether you're engaging with insights. Data will tell you whether you're creating relationship or not. So as long as you see incrementally you are progressing, you are going up the hill for the score, you are adding up, and that is actually a pat on the back. Because most of us are entrepreneur, it's a very lonely road, and I think data is the only way. Data is our boss. Data is really our boss. Analytics is actually the other boss. So from the analytics, you decide what next for you. And I think I'm so happy. This is one of the best, satisfying webinar I've ever done. On behalf of all the panelists, I would like to say goodbye, but keep your comments coming. I will send a copy to all the panelists. And please find them on LinkedIn. I think today you'll probably get 50, 60, 80 connections. So thank you, and everyone have a nice day. And